Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy X. Last time, we finished up all we need to do here in the Omega Ruins. Save for one. Also, before I continue on, after finishing recording the last episode, I did battle around a little bit because I was getting a lot luckier finding those Varuna guys, the guys that look like Diablos from Final Fantasy VIII, and so I used 5 more levels of my sphere grid because I was up to 98. For everyone in sphere level, and I wanted to actually reap the benefits of getting the experience for the upcoming boss fight. So I've done that. You can take a quick look where my characters are. We've made it here, but we haven't quite picked up Quick Pockets yet with Riku and Lulu. Tidus is close. Actually, there is one other thing I want to do with Tidus. Use Special and get the Use ability. He's going to run up there to get it anyway once he moves further enough along the grid, but I would like to have him to use that for the upcoming boss fight. Kimahri is there, Lulu is there, Yuna is there, Auron is there. Good enough. Okay. One thing I have done is if you go to sort on your items, you can manually sort. And as you can see, I've moved all those items I talked about last time. The Doors to Tomorrow, Shining Gem, one I didn't talk about, Chocobo Wing, 3 stars. I don't think I talked about those, or maybe I did. Basically, all the things I mentioned and some things that I didn't mention, all of those ones are all up there. Not the Mega Phoenixes. We should never need those. Not in this fight, anyway. And once we've done that, I would recommend a party of Wakka, Riku, and Tidus. When you're ready, let's go say hello to, I guess not really an old friend. Have I killed Ultima in any of the Final Fantasy games I've played yet?
It seems we rate his personal attention now.
I don't think there was an Omega in 7. And there wasn't one in 9. And there wasn't one in 4. So yeah, I guess not. Definitely wasn't one in Mystic Quest. Okay, Tidus gets the first turn. Now, first move I want to do is Hastiga, and I will just mention this right now. If you're hearing this, never mind. If you're hearing this, it's the live recording. I may end up choosing to do post-commentary if I don't like the commentary that happens to come out. But basically, the recovery time from using the use command is a lot lower than it is to do anything else. So we want to do that first. And the next thing we want to do is we want to use a Stamina Tonic, which will increase our maximum HP to double, so 9,999. Next thing, we want to mix. And you can pretty much do these in kind of any order you want. I would like to mix, let's see here, a Star Curtain with a Door to Tomorrow, which should give me Hyper Mighty G. This is really good. It gives us lots of buffs, including Auto Life, Shell, Protect, Regen for some reason, even though it sucks. Can't remember what else. I think it gives you Haste, maybe. Maybe I didn't need to do Haste. I don't remember. Okay. Now, we learned Entrust, I believe it was last time, so let's entrust Riku so that she can do some more mixing. And Tidus, since it's going to be a while before we get another turn, I'm going to pull Kimahri in here, and we're going to use Lancet on Omega. That allows him to learn his final overdrive, which of course is Nova. That's also the most powerful attack this guy has, so just kind of be prepared for that. We're going to bring in Yuna, and we're going to steal. You can steal 30 Gambler Spirits. It would actually be worthwhile if you could try and steal more than one set of those. So I'm going to keep these 3 in there, because you can get some decent money out of stuff like that. And we'll try one more. Didn't get anything. He's going to use Core Energy. Now, this can do, I think, anywhere from like 4,000 to 9,999, or less if you have Protect and Shell on. I can't remember which one affects it, but... So we did that. Let's bring in Auron. Now, Auron's too slow, so I don't want him to do anything other than guard. And Lulu's too slow. I don't want her to do anything other than guard, but they need to get their participation credit there.
This is definitely bad.
Yeah, a little bit. And... you know what? I guess we can start attacking now. Well, that wasn't very much damage. We need to deal some more damage. Now we're protected against this because of what it is. Let's see. We'll attack him one more time. Now let's start bringing people back in. We'll bring in Wakka first. How much damage can you do? not nearly enough. We need to deal a lot more damage if we're going to take this guy down. However, are we going to do that? Well, we're going to do that with mix. So let's mix a Door to Tomorrow with another Door to Tomorrow. Let's increase our damage with a trio of 9,999. I didn't say it, but I banned this for the LP, save for post-game stuff, because basically every action we make, attacks, skills, multi-hit attacks, healing, everything deals exactly 9,999. To demonstrate that, where did it go? Let's use an Al Bhed potion, which should give us 1,000 HP. Yeah. This is why I pretty much banned it for the LP, because it seemed too abusive for the most part, and so I banned it in general, save for when we got to the post game, and now we can use it. Because I could have used this to take care of pretty much any enemy after we got access to them, like even before we went into Sin. So, anyway, now all of our normal attacks are going to deal some nice damage. Let's see, let's entrust Riku with another set here. We need to do some more stuff with Riku. We're not getting nearly enough overdrive from stuff like that. Let's see if we can fix that now. Now you could use your ultimate weapons because they have triple overdrive. That would make things a lot better. But if you don't have that, we want to combine a stamina tonic with... where is that there? With a Door to Tomorrow. Now, I think this is 1.5. No, this is 2 times the overdrive. And now we're basically just going to hit away on them. I'm going to kind of try and silently count these. 5, and hopefully it doesn't get too annoying as I attempt to kind of keep track. Because I would like to get the overkill on this guy, and you need to do 66,666 damage in order to get that. And doing the amount of damage I'm doing, it's not going to happen. Now, one of the things I wish I could have done is use elemental gems on this guy. And the reason why I would like to do that is because they hit 5 or 6 times. So 5 or 6, and items are not, immune to this trio of 9,999. So it would do that much each time. However, in the international version of the game, unlike the original, he will absorb every elemental spell in the game, including Holy and Lightning. So we're not going to do that. So we'll just stick to normal attacks for a while. This will hit everybody. Shouldn't do all that much damage, especially with all the protection we set up. Okay, so I think we're... 10. So basically, this guy has 999,999 damage, or HP, in the international version of the game. In the original version of the game, he had substantially less, only 99,999. And he can cast Ultima, and that actually might kill Wakka. That would really suck if it did. Actually, I think it does 4,000 or 7,000. Ooh! Wow, that was painful. I think I'm at 12, 15, something like that. Let's heal up with an Al Bhed potion. By the way, everyone has the Comrade Overdrive mode for this battle, so that as soon as everyone else gets hit, especially since a lot of his attacks will target multiple people there. So we got, 20 hits in by now, I think, something like that. Basically, with haste on, we're so fast that he really can't do all that much to us. So, somewhere around maybe 30 there. I'm not going to count every single one of them. I won't be able to do any commentary if I do that. This can deal up to 9,999. Hopefully it won't. Basically, that's all I can do is just hope. There are some other things I would like to do, but I may not get a chance to do them since I'm kind of kicking this guy's ass. More than I thought I would. I think I overly prepared for this guy. Yep, I think I over-prepared for this guy. Maybe 40 there? I'm guessing? basically, once I get down to where I think he should have only maybe 100,000 HP left, then I'm going to try and bring in Yuna and Grand Summon the Mega Sisters so that they can deal a whole whack ton of damage to this guy. I think that's probably the only way I'll come close to getting the overkill. So maybe 50 there. It's good to protect against stone against this guy, so you don't have to deal with this. You're not really doing enough hits to build up my overdrive gauge as much as I was hoping. I don't think he sags or anything. Unfortunately, even though we have Sensor, it doesn't show how much HP he has. I really hate that about the post-game in this game. They spend way too much time removing abilities that we already had access to. Alright, so everyone should have their overdrive here. And what I was planning on doing with Riku is also doing Hot Spurs, which is a Shining Gem and a Stamina Tonic. That will give us Overdrive times 1.5, and it does stack with Double Overdrive that we did earlier. And if you have your Ultimate Weapons on, it will even stack with that. If I had used the Ultimate Weapons, it would have really made this boss fight even easier than it already is. So there's that. I also was going to do Ultra Null All with a Lunar, a Light, or a Star Curtain, as well as a Healing Spring. Now, any of these mixes, but I don't really need to do that now, do I? Well, I guess we can anyway. Where's my Healing Spring? Healing Spring, and Star Curtain, Ultra Null All. So what this does is it gives us all the null spells, which we don't care about. It also gives us Cheer, Focus, all of those things, all the way up to level 5 instantly. It is really, really good. And unfortunately, I don't have his ultimate overdrive, so we'll just go with this one. And each one of these hits is also affected by 9,999, so we'll do even more damage. So I think, what, maybe 65? The equivalent 65 hits or something like that. Let's use some attack wheels on him. There we go. I actually managed to do it right. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to. I got so used to screwing that up all the time in the PS3 version. I blame the lag there on or the input lag or whatever it is. So there's another 12. So that's what, 77, 78, 79, 80. Only about 20 more hits left to go. And we'll use an All Bed Potion to keep our spirits all up here. And we'll see if we can steal one more time, or not. But basically, if you use this kind of a strategy, there really isn't a whole lot to this fight. Because you're protected against pretty much anything. His ultimate attack is Nova. It should deal about 7,000 damage to everybody. And I don't think you can block it at all with any of your buffs or anything like that. So just kind of be aware of that. Use another Albed Potion. But yeah, if you're not going to do this, you really have to level up a lot more than I have. And I want to finish this guy off now as opposed to later. Let's see. I'm guessing he's got about 100,000 HP left about now. So there we go. I'm betting if I attack him one more time, he's going to use Nova. There we go. Which means he must be really low on HP. At least we get to see what Nova looks like. This is, I believe, the same animation you get when you use a Dark Matter, an item we don't have yet in battle. It's also the same as the Sunburst ability that Riku can do, and that's a mixed command that she can do that can actually break the damage limit even if she can't normally break the damage limit, even if she has no weapon that allows her to do that. Alright, so that should be enough now. I'm going to bring out Yuna, and hopefully... Do they have an overdrive yet? No, we will have to Grand Summon the Mega Sisters. Actually, that only hits 6 times. Do I want to Grand Summon Anima? Oh, that'll probably be enough. Why not? We'll use the Mega Sisters, and hopefully this works. Because I only have one other way of dealing enough damage to break the 66,666 overkill limit.
All your help.
That you know, this guy has for an overkill, and that would be powers. That would be Wakka's Overdrive, and I would have to get all 12 hits in. There we go, and I got the overkill. Excellent. That's pretty much all you need to get out of this guy. It's a difficult boss fight in the international version of the game because they add all these other things, but if you over-prepare like I do, I guess it's not really all that difficult. Go figure. In fact, as a point of reference, during my test run, I put off doing the Omega Ruins till later, and then I did all the other stuff I planned to do, all the stat maxing and everything.
On the far plane. Leave Spira to the living.
Yeah, you're kind of a hypocrite there. Someone already said that. You know, another LP has said that, but that's pretty true. I will give you credit on that one. And he does drop level 4 key spheres, hence why I wanted the overkill, so I'd have some more of those. Don't worry about the weapons he can drop. That's not all that important. But yeah, I actually went and did all the other things in the game that there was to do, but I forgot to come back, so I never even did any test running in the Omega Ruins save for capturing monsters. That was it. Anyway, we want to run all the way back to where Omega was, so I will see you in a moment. Oh yeah, do note that these circles, if you leave the area or if you turn off your system, or in this case just exit out of the game, you can run into enemies up here. I forgot about that.
I'll be right back.
I don't need to fight you guys. No, thank you. We'll stop that. Thank you. But all those enemies that are supposed to be on those tiles, if you do that, they will respawn. And yes, for some reason, they make you come all the way back for simply a magic sphere. It's useful, but why do I have to come all the way back for it? Okay, we're back. Now, I'm basically just going to go over a few things before we decide to move on. Now, basically, now that we've defeated Omega, he's the last real boss that you can take down before you start trying to max out your stats. Now, this is the post-game. This is time for, you know, level grinding and doing side quests, and I've done most of the side quests already. You know, I've got all the ultimate weapons. We really don't need to worry about any of that. We've done most of the remaining side quests. I don't think there's any side quests left, save for whatever we need to do in order to beat the remaining enemies, and those are the ones in here. This guy. Let's see. So we got the Omega Dungeon. We get designer wallets. Yeah, we'll bring it on, and I'll throw on fast forward here, because we're basically just coming in here as we did before, to find out what we can steal. Healing springs, and then we died. Oh, we didn't die, but Titus died, so we might as well have died. Nobody else has flee. Counter. Kill me. Kill me! Hurry up! There we go, thank you. Much better. Should probably put Riku in. That way she'll boost her overdrive up there. Alright, so we got him. Let's exit out of there. And we got something from Inside Sin containing 99 lunar curtains. I wouldn't worry if this, if you already had a whole bunch of these, you're never going to use them for anything else. Auto shell in this game, which is the big thing that you could get out of it, isn't particularly useful, so I'm not going to worry about it. Ah, there's Pharaoh's Curse, Poison, Darkness, Curse, and Silence. So we'll bring in Riku here. What can we steal from you? Purifying Salt. Oddly enough, that casts Dispel. So that could be useful. What other ones have I managed to obtain in the meantime? The Iron Giants. I think you need to capture 5 or 6 of each of the Iron Giants, which include both of the different Gemini inside Sin and the Iron Giant himself from the Thunder Plains. We get 16 mana tablets for that. And considering it's a creation from Iron Giants, you can get light curtains from him. And he's really strong. run away. Yeah, we're not really supposed to beat these guys until we boost up our levels. Let's see. The Fiend brought it to me. Okay. 60 Turbo Ethers. I think this is for 6 different species, species creations. We don't need to... Or no, this is for getting all the bombs. You can get fire gems from him. Again. Like, we really need more fire gems at this stage in the game. Okay. What else? Okay, that's all the ones he's got now. So basically, what we're going to do now, let's talk to you and select fight monsters. What else do we need to capture? Well, we need to capture what's remaining in Besaid. We need to go back to the Mi'ihen High Road and the Mushroom Rock and capture a bunch of enemies there. We need to go to Jose. We finished up everyone there. We need to go to Mach Colonia, which is probably, I would say, almost the most tedious one, just because there are 3 different screens you need to be on in order to find all the enemies. We got all those, those. Got them all from Omega. Here we go, we got most of the area ones. We got some of the species ones. We'll start to get some more of them over time. But anyway, so yeah, in between episodes, I'll be doing a little bit of capturing, but I'll also be trying to do a little bit of leveling up, which I'll probably end up doing in the Omega Ruins, depending on, you know, how difficult things are. If I look into it and I'm able to do the one method I want to do to quick level all my characters, then I might end up showing that at the start of the next episode. But in order to do that, we need to use some of the sphere levels that we have. And because I know you guys love the sphere grid so much, we're going to do all of this, every single part of it, on screen, because I know you guys just love hearing me talk. And to make the time go by faster, we're going to tell a little story. It all started back in World War II. And that's how I won World War III. Now, I was trying to find a clip. I swear, Grandpa Simpson did this, where he started in World War I or World War II, fell asleep in the middle of his conversation, and then woke up, and that's how I won World War II or World War III or whatever it was. I couldn't find the clip. I was looking for like half an hour and I couldn't find it. So unfortunately, no clip, but obviously I'm not going to make you sit there and watch all of that stuff. In fact, this is the next day, because it took me a little while to do all that. Now, the reason why it took me so long is, well, I guess should be somewhat apparent. Every time we need to do anything, we need more spheres. So in other words, you're going to run out. And I ran out after doing like all of Titus's and then like half of Waka's, and then I had to go farm for these things. To put it kind of simply for you guys, we now have to farm items to level up. This is when the sphere grid really becomes a giant pain in the ass. And it's no longer fun, it's no longer interesting, it doesn't help you along, there's no more creativity involved, it's just we need to go and get as many levels as possible, but we have to farm these things all the time. Now, when our levels are low, like having just finished our own sphere grids, it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass to do everything. Just so you kind of have an idea of where Titus went there. Started following into Yuna's grid, and then now he's in Riku's grid there. Once he's done with Riku's grid, I'll be sending him up, way up here, and he'll start continuing along from Orin's grid back down through Waka's. If I get that far. Basically, at this point, you can either try and fill out the entire sphere grid, which I'm not a big fan of, or you can fill out enough of it so that you can do some things and then start stat grinding. Before we do any stat grinding, I'm just going to mention a couple things real quickly here. What I did in order to get the additional spheres, or where I went, would be to the Mi'ihen High Road. I went and captured one of everybody there, and we'll take a quick swing at you. Oh, this guy. I have steel on you now. Stamina Springs, and we're dead. And we're still dead. And that's it. Many of the enemies we'll find here are even more powerful now than they used to be. Certain ones are stronger than others, but... Anyway, now that we've done that, I just want to go over where I found all of them. The Mi'ihen High Road. the Fang, and let's see. The Fang is most likely found in the new road on the main line. Pretty much just any screen, doesn't really matter. Everywhere up to between Luca and wherever you warp down to, the inn there. This guy, as well as this guy, only appear in the old road, so you have to go down to the old road. While you're there, though, you'll also find the Thunderflan, so I maxed those guys out as well. Floating eyes are everywhere. New road, old road, wherever. The white elements are only on the new road. The Raldo, I believe they're only on the new road as well. Bombs can be found anywhere, but I think the area they appear the most often, they can even appear in the Mushroom Rock, so they're really common. But they appear relatively often in the old road, as well as in the area, the Chocobo Path, between the entrance to Mushroom Rock and the inn there in the Mi'ihen High Road. And the dual horn is pretty much the same way, just as pretty much the same as the bombs there. So that's where I found all those guys. And while you're doing this, and well, you need spheres, obviously, so you're going after spheres. What I would recommend you do is buy some additional capturing weapons. And because we don't really need Death Touch or anything like that anymore, or Death Strike, or whatever it is, I went and bought Distill Power, Distill Mana, and Distill Speed, taming weapons for both Tidus and Riku, since they're my fastest characters, and that way I'll be able to use whatever I need to get whatever sphere I particularly need at that point. Because after you're going through Yuna's grid, you're going to be using a lot more Mana Spheres than you are Power Spheres. So that just makes things a little bit easier for me. That's pretty much all I needed to... Oh, there is one other thing I wanted to go over real quick. Because we were able to... Let's just... I don't need to fast forward anymore. Because I was able to... well, let's take a quick look here. Because I was able to max out my HP with everyone, do note that this is using all of the HP that I get from my armor, so it's not actually maxed out yet, but for... most purposes, it'll be maxed out soon enough. But because we have so much HP now, and we're only going to get more as time goes on, the stamina tonics that I picked up from doing Capturing Besaid earlier, I don't really need anymore. So I wanted to find a good use for them. And I found it. And what that is in money making. And what you want to do is you want to come here, buy any type of armor, doesn't really matter what. All of these armors here, they have 3 empty slots and they're really cheap. So I just did it with shields because it was the top one. And no, let's go talk to you there. And if you use a stamina tonic during customize, you will be able to put HP plus 30%. And we've used this for putting the HP on, and we've used it to double our HP in battle. However, if you just start putting them all over here, look at how much that sells for. You spend 2,200 on it, use one of these that we have no longer any use for. I kept 10 just in case, but I don't see any other reason why I would use them in the rest of the game. And I can sell them for 28,000. Now, there is one here, SOS Regen. I had a few of these extra lying around. So what they were, I believe they're healing springs. Now, we're going to be able to get them a lot more of them later on. In fact, it's one of the prizes for capturing. So I wanted to use what I had left. So I just did that there. And as you can see, well, there's a bunch of extra junk there. But yeah, I've managed to put a whole bunch of these here, as well as sold all the excess stuff I had from before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell all of this stuff off screen, and I will see you in a moment. And we're all finished with that, and we pretty much doubled our money. So there you go. Like I said, I kept 10 of those, and you can make use of them however you want. I don't have very many pieces of equipment left because we really don't need all that much at this point. Just, the weapons I've been making, my taming weapons, and the ones for Riku as well. Like I said, they're fastest, they go first most of the time. But as you can see, we gain a whole bunch of levels by doing that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a whole whack ton of capturing off screen. And there's a few other things that I'll want to do. We'll start the next episode doing a little bit of bribing and setting up some of our equipment going forward. Anyway, that's pretty much all we needed to do today. Just give you a quick look at everyone's stats now. They are definitely starting to increase quite a bit. Titus isn't got a whole bunch of strength increase there because he's been going through Yuna's path and then Riku's path. Once he gets to the end of Riku's path, he'll be heading up and getting a whole whack ton of strength, though. So don't you worry. He will catch up. But like I said, that's all for this one. And I'll see you guys next time.